Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Alan AB.
Yes.
And welcome to the Through the Wire Start Sit Risk Assessment for running backs. The top 20 running backs going into your week 8. Today, we're going to be going through our risk assessment by analyzing 3 different tiers. There's a green tier, which is basically a low risk tier. Basically, there's a yellow tier, which is our medium risk tier. And then there's our red tier. These are our high risk players. Now, again, as we go through the top 20 list, we'll basically put a tier system so that you guys can see what type of risk assessment you're going to be expecting when it comes to dealing with these players. Player number 1 is someone that you guys are way too familiar with. The New York Jets' Breece Hall. Right now, the Jets are scheduled to go up against the New England Patriots. And at this moment, I would say this should be a really easy game for the running back. I would say Breece Hall is definitely somebody that I believe is a easy start.
This week, definitely.
Definitely start. And I definitely would say he's someone that's in our top tier. So as we go through our top tier running backs, Breece Hall is someone that you can't afford to sit this weekend, especially in an easy matchup like the Patriots.
And then next, the next one is Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, Derrick Henry is just, he's facing the Cleveland Browns this week. It doesn't matter. On a weekly basis, Derrick Henry is just a must start.
Must start.
Anybody, basically, like the top 2 out of Baltimore, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry,
Must
you're
start.
going to start him,
Must
regardless.
Start. It's
you don't have to think about it.
There's not really much to say. I don't care who he's going against. I mean, honestly, drop him out of a plane with a parachute, start him.
That's fine.
Kyren Williams, must start.
Another one.
I know this is going to be a difficult matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings do have a very, very good defense. This is a Thursday game. However, Kyren Williams has been Mr. Consistency this year.
It don't matter.
I believe. Yeah, he's gonna get his yardage no matter what, and they believe in him.
Yep, they're adamant on running the ball with him.
Is it McVay? Is that the name of the coach?
Sean McVay is adamant on running the ball with Kyren.
McVay is not. He's not leaving the ball in the air that long. It's mostly a ground game, and not much to say here.
Yeah, they don't have no Cooper Kupp. They don't have Puka Nacua, so their main weapon is Kyren Williams, and they're letting you know it.
They've been sticking to it.
Bijan Robinson. This year, he's not a must start to me. They're facing Tampa Bay, but
wait a minute. Are you sure he's not a must start?
To me, that's what I said. To me,
I mean, well, it's a start sit. We're giving them advice.
Yeah.
Is he a starter or sit?
It's not a must start to me, honestly. I'm not gonna look at the last 2 weeks of him doing well and sit here and say like I'm gonna fully trust him, because one of them wants the Carolina Panthers, and then another one was the Seattle Seahawks, whose defense has been struggling the past few weeks. And then even as they're facing Tampa Bay, it's another middling defense. You know what? I'll take it back. I'll start him.
Sorry, I'm looking at these numbers like, what are you saying? I'm seeing consistency here. Not even those are the better games, but he's had decent games.
Because prior to that, it's just that prior to that, he's underperformed his projections every week up until
projections.
week 6.
I get that, but I mean, even though his projection was low in week 2, he still put up 97 yards, and he also got 5, targets. I wouldn't. Again, I understand what you're saying. Projections aren't being met, but he's putting up really decent games. I would say Bijan Robinson against Tampa Bay Buccaneers that's going to be finding themselves this weekend. You can't sit him. You have to start him. That's going to be a match that, even if it's close, he's going to get a lot of usage in it.
It's just because of that. Is that split with Algier, and that team just seems so adamant on playing Algier. That's what causes me to have that. But I'll agree with you.
I see the consistency.
I'm sticking to where I am. I'm still on the yellow. I'm not agreeing with him.
I get it.
I'm not moving on that. But.
Well, he's still. I mean, based on numbers and projections, right now he's in the green. So he's somebody that is. He's still someone that's like a safe bet going into this weekend. All right, now as we go into our middle tier, these are basically our middling risk running backs. Basically, we'll go ahead and just jump right in. The first running back on this list at this area is Saquon Barkley from the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley has been showing us why the Giants are stupid all season, and I appreciate him for that. I really love any chance that I get to realize that, you know what, yes, the Giants are stupid. They suck. And Saquon, You have proven that point all too well this season by running up and down the field on every team that the Eagles have faced. I believe that you're going to do it again this weekend when the Eagles go against the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe that he is a start. Even though they say he's a medium risk player, I think he's a start.
Cincinnati defense is basically living off of reputation because it's not what it is by the numbers. It's not what it's been. It's not what it is. It's supposed to be. So, yeah, no, Saquon's a start.
I don't even know if I would consider this player a medium risk going to the next
Joe Mixon is green. I
Green.
don't give a fuck.
You know what? We're gonna move Joe into our green.
I don't care what.
I don't know why. Yahoo rankings.
Yo, your rankings
y'all
suck.
are just ridiculous. I've been hearing that all season, by the way. Have you been hearing that? Like,
I never cared for their rankings to begin with.
yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people complaining about Yahoo's ranking system. If you guys are waiting for Yahoo to save you, you're fucked. I'm sorry, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Joe Mixon is a must start.
Must start. Must
From
start.
when he plays, it pays. It's as simple as that.
Must start.
Yo, without Nico Collins, he really is the best offensive weapon that the Texans have at the
It
moment.
really is.
Because Tank Dell didn't do shit last week.
Dell
He had a
doing
donut.
shit. I mean, Stephon Diggs. He's he's been a bright light in this receiving core. But I mean, yeah, Joe Mixon.
Yeah, it's Joe Mixon. That team runs for him right now.
Our next player is somebody that's on your team.
Oh, that's another must start.
Kenneth Walker.
He's another one that's great.
Is he green to you though?
Oh, definitely.
He's green.
Definitely.
He's a must start.
Because Kenneth Walker's another one. When he plays, he produces.
Yeah.
It's not like their running game runs straight through Kenneth Walker.
Like, Kenneth Walker's a must start. I agree.
Because Charbonnet's trash.
All right. Next player on the list.
Now, Jonathan Taylor coming back from injury.
Ooh, how you feel about that? Is this too early?
I'm not gonna say that I'm high. Like he's not high risk to me. I understand why you would have some risk with him because he's been out for 3 weeks now, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I can see why you would have why people would have risk with him, but he's one of those players in that same vein as like a Kenneth Walker, where if they're hurt, when they come back, they can put up a big game.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'll have him in the yellow.
I would have him in the yellow too. I would say right now he is somebody that I would say is a start going into this weekend. I mean, they're going against Houston, which is a hard defense. Houston's defense is hard. I do shed away from starting people when they come off of injuries because it's coming to bite me in the ass a few times. I've seen it plenty of times where, just a player was cleared in the injury protocol, but he still has a nagging injury. So you got to give these players time to really see if they're really, really cleared from their injury. Sometimes we see that, and we're like, oh, I can start him now. And then we're mad because he didn't do anything. A lot of times these players are still injured. They're just cleared. Doesn't mean they're okay. So
Still ankle.
I would say, I would say if you're in a position where you need to start him, you got to start him. You can't play that game, but I definitely would start him. He's a solid player. The next player that we have on this list is Alvin Kamara, another player who's coming back from an injury. I would say he's definitely someone, again, I would say he's in a risky place because with this injury, I've seen him have a few dips, but overall, it's really good booms, very few busts.
But that same offense right now is in question.
That's another thing. The QB situation is a little bit up in the air.
Spencer, I know, because I believe Derek Carr is still hurt, and then Spencer Rattler got hurt his hip over the weekend.
Yep.
I don't know who they're going to put in at QB right then.
It's a little scary.
So that could mess up the box. But then even in that, Alvin Kamara's game is also placated on the check down as well.
Yeah.
So he gets a lot of yardage off of quick passes to him from the quarterback, and be able to make plays with his legs. This one, and they're facing the Chargers. I think I put a high risk on this one, honestly.
Oh, okay. You really?
Yeah. I consider what we just talked about when it comes to the Saints offense and then facing the Chargers defense.
Well, again, the risk is already assessed based on the projection. Even though Yahoo grades him based on our ranking system, Yahoo would grade him as a medium risk, but I would consider him a low risk.
Yeah. Yahoo doesn't have him Yahoo has him ranked at a higher position. Me personally, I think of him as a more high risk, just because of the injury, the opponent, and the other stuff that's facilitating his offense right now.
I can see where you say that. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a start because he's really one of their main weapons, but it's going to be one of those starts. It's
gonna be like, dang. Is he gonna get? It's gonna be a slow starting engine. You know, it's gonna get there. It's gonna start. You have to crank that thing a few times.
Right.
Next player on our list is Jahmyr Gibbs from the Detroit Lions. He's somebody that I would say is a start.
He's a start.
I would say he's a start, especially since they're going against the Tennessee Titans.
But he's facing the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Shares the backfield with David Montgomery, and that still has not stopped him from having a fantastic fantasy season. You just want to have people, like, when it comes to this right now, I never thought you'd hear the day where people would say this, but I want pieces from the Detroit Lions because they're a good offense. So, definitely, Jahmyr Gibbs, must start.
Yeah.
Low risk, must start.
Jordan Mason of the 49ers.
Man, Jordan. I know he's limited in practice right now. But, I mean, when it comes to, he's one of those people where you just got to play him because the 49ers are going to use their running backs.
I'm going to actually disagree. I'm going to stay sit on this one.
Even though they're facing Dallas.
Yeah. The reason I say that is this. Jordan Mason has had a nagging injury for the last 3 weeks. Even against easy teams like Seattle, he only gave us about, a meek, game.
Yards.
And it's only because he's really trying to fight through an injury because he's the one they want running the ball. Right now, they have
that Seattle game, he's a touchdown away from having a...
Seattle, Arizona, he gave you a lot less than projected. He wasn't really up to. I know we weren't going off the projections.
Don't use it now.
I'm not going to use it now. But what I will say is that based on the fact that they do run the ball so much, the numbers that I'm seeing from the Arizona and Seattle games should be a lot higher. And I saw what he did in the weeks before that. Again, he's been on my team all year. I've had him on my team every single game. But as soon as he got injured in that Week 5 game, he has not been able to return to his form, and I feel like he still has a nagging injury. I would not put him in, especially when I see the questionable tag on him.
So
I wouldn't start him.
Looking at the past couple weeks' numbers, would you consider him to be basically a touchdown-dependent start?
I would say...
Because, like I
58 yards, 73 yards is not impressive. I'm not excited by those numbers.
That's 70, 50, we got 89 yards, the past 3 games, 89 yards.
And his attempts went down because of the injury. If you look at
but it was also Kansas City was last
But look
week,
at the first week though. Look, 28 attempts, 20 attempts, 19 attempts, 24 attempts. As soon as the injury happens in Week 5, his attempts got shrunk into half. They've been cutting his attempts in half because he's injured. They're limiting his snaps.
And that's why I say
touchdown dependent or not, I do not want him to start. I don't want to look at him as a person that I need to win to get to the playoffs right now. If you don't need him, bench him. If you need a running back, he's a speculative start as long as he gets a touchdown.
And I will humbly take the opposite of you on that. I will definitely start him against the Dallas Cowboys. Cool. I'll definitely start him against the Dallas Cowboys, who's the fourth best defense to face for running backs, giving up touchdowns left and right. I agree with you. Last week, 14 attempts for 58, but then the week before that, 9 attempts for 73 yards. It's just a touchdown away from actually being double-digit points. So that's why I say it's a touchdown dependent. So I would start him against the Dallas Cowboys, honestly.
There was questions of whether he was going to be out for the less, they were questioning whether or not he was going to be out until McCaffrey came back in Week 10. Now, I understand what you're saying. The Dallas Cowboys do make it so juicy and tempting because they're trash. However, again, whenever I see somebody who's had a nagging injury and they continue to come back with questionable practices, I don't really feel comfortable. I'm sorry. I would wait until the day of.
That's why I said I humbly disagree.
Yeah, and I know that's why I'm able to rebuttal. We have a rebuttal part of the conversation where you get two opposite sides of the convo. I'm giving mine. So what I'm saying is, as much as you, I'm trying to rebuttal. You're telling me that you humbly disagree. I'm like, I get that. I'm trying to answer now. What I'm saying is this: if you do see that he's not, if you do see that he's at least logged some healthy practices in by Friday and that questionable tag is removed, I would say you should feel a lot more comfortable. But if you do see that he goes into the weekend and there's still a lot of questionable on him, I wouldn't even play that game. I would take it very, very easily and try to make sure you stay on the safe side. But again, we're split on this one. We have a start, we have a sit. You make a decision. Next one.
Aaron Jones facing the LA Rams.
Aaron Jones.
He's a start for me.
Aaron Jones.
Facing the LA Rams, he's a start for me.
Yeah, only because of the opponent, I would say this is a start. Aaron Jones has. I mean, honestly, this is his backfield. I saw that they were trying to give Ty Chandler a chance, but it just seems like he wasn't really.
Yeah. When Aaron was hurt, they were trying.
They tried. He wasn't.
We knew it was over when they brought Cam Akers in.
Yeah,
that's how you knew it was over for Ty Chandler, once they brought Cam Akers in.
That's really it. And honestly, yeah. I mean, Aaron Jones is a start. I would say, yeah. For this weekend, he's a start. I can't disagree with that. Josh Jacobs. Green Bay Packers going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, I'm going to say he's a start.
Yeah, because it's facing the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And he's also, they're just going to give him the ball regardless. He gets about 15 to 20 attempts a game at running the ball anyway. So, all right, now, Devon Achane. How do we feel about Devon Achane going into this? Because we do have the return of Tua, so hopefully that should open up the offense, and it should keep people out of the box.
Honestly, I think they're going to rely on him more because they're going to try to avoid Tua as much. This is going to be a very, very tricky game. It's raining as well, Arizona. It's going to be in Miami. It's going to be raining. This is at least weather-wise. It seems like it's smarter to go with a running game in a day like that. So I feel like you're probably going to see a very effective game out of A-Chain this week. I would start him, especially against Arizona.
Yeah, I'll start him against, like you just said, especially against Arizona.
For sure. The next player on this list is Kareem Hunt, someone who's been getting a lot of popularity these last few weeks since being re-signed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean,
he hasn't had a down game yet, so that means he's a start.
I mean, keep the ball rolling
until the wheels fall off.
Why stop now?
Right? Until the wheels fall off. All right, the next player that we have on our risk assessment list here is DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, who's been seeing an uptick from being a laughingstock. How do we feel? He's facing Washington. How are we feeling about this?
I'm feeling good about DeAndre Swift, honestly. I think he's going to continue on. I think he's going to have another good week.
Yep, and they're coming out of the bye, so he's fully healthy.
Well,
you know what?
Yeah,
it's one of those situations again, last player, where it's like until it don't work.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, don't fix it. So DeAndre Swift is a start.
All right, so James Cook going against Seattle this weekend. How do you feel about this one?
Looks like they're going to be in Seattle. It looks like it's going to be raining. That could limit the passing game a bit. Even though I do believe, I'm not 100% sure if Seattle has a roof at their stadium, but I believe that he's a must start to me right now. I'm going to start him because he's been a main leader of their running game. Secondarily being followed by Josh Allen, which is different.
Yeah.
Because normally it's Josh Allen that's leading it.
And it's sad because I wish Josh Allen would use him more in the passing game. I feel like it's like the downside for James Cook is that he's only been rushing. He hasn't been used in the passing game at all this year, and I think that's kind of limited his ceiling. He's got potential.
He's definitely got the chops to be able to catch passes. I don't know why he doesn't use them.
My man said he's got the chops. You hear this, man?
Chops.
Yo, Seattle. Yeah, you gotta start him. I don't. Yeah, you gotta start him. He had a few weird weeks, but you gotta start him. Damn.
David Montgomery.
Are we sitting anybody?
No, because This is like I said, these are the guys are in the green. These are like really must-starts.
Wow, must-starts.
Like it's what we've had is like when we get to the person, it's either we run into them and it's like, oh, this is a person that's a must-start, and then it's just like, or then we run into them and we look at their matchup and it's just like it's a good matchup for them. Yeah. So that's why a lot of it is leading towards starts.
Alvin Kamara was like our only was he a start or a sit?
He was a split.
Yeah.
No, Jordan Mason was a split. Alvin Kamara was a start. Both of us started. We both started him, but I had him at like a higher risk for the start.
Yeah. All right.
David Montgomery. The same thing, man. David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are two-headed monsters that just can't be stopped.
Here, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because who has the most advantage from this backfield?
Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs has the most advantage because he's the one that catches passes, and then they use him as the first down back. David Montgomery, it gets a lot of goal line usage and short yardage plays.
Okay.
Says that when he gets a lot of his short yardage, he breaks off for big plays, or if it's at the goal line, he gets a touchdown.
He's
only had one game. He's only had one bad game for the year.
And that's actually why I might say he's a sit. Don't kill me.
No. Go for it.
I know.
Go for it.
I'm going. I think he might be a sit this week, and don't kill me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I think David Montgomery might be a sit. Only reason I say this is that he took a little bit of a knee injury last week, and it was just a bruise. It wasn't anything severe. I know it did cut into his play time last week, and it also is cutting into his practice reps this week. However, another thing that I do want to consider is that Tennessee's defense isn't weak. Minnesota gave them a hard time last week, and that was a strong defense. But that ended up being a tight game. Tennessee could end up being a different game. I could see that. I could see Detroit winning this game.
Definitely.
I do think
1-5 team.
The defense might give them some pushback at first, but we know where this is going. David Montgomery's he's a start by all means, but I really would be
if you have other options, you would.
Yeah, I would probably lean away from him this weekend. Yeah. James Conner. Is this the last one on the list?
Yep.
James Conner. The last one on our list today. Actually, I want to go.
It would be 20.
It would be 20. Dang. All right.
I mean, unless like whenever we have we do have somebody say like we just had with David Montgomery. It's just like, oh, we'll sit him. We could probably hit him with like one of the options that's not in the top 20.
Yeah.
So like be like, all right, so David Montgomery or Brian Robinson Jr. David Montgomery or Tony Pollard.
Gotcha.
Like have the
make a decision on who you would rather start over them. Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like we started everybody. It takes the fun away a little bit. I hope it's more fun than the receivers. All right, last person on our list is James Conner. James Conner is going against the Miami Dolphins. Well, he's not by himself, of course. The Arizona Cardinals are going against.
That fourth quarter last week.
Boy. They really did not trust their passing game anymore. They did not give a fuck.
Clock be dead. We're running.
Dude, I ain't never seen a team losing in the last 2 minutes and run the clock all the way out.
Yo, we're down. The clock be damned. You can't stop James.
Yeah, man.
So we're just
start that man. Start that man. I don't care who he goes against. Start that man. Arizona in 5.
Arizona in 5.
Nah, start that man. You just gotta do it. There's really not much to say. Listen, that was our top 20 ranking for this week as running backs. This is our start sit risk assessment. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you think this was helpful or not. Hey, hopefully you guys have enough information to go in there and do something right this weekend.
Do some damage.
Yeah, do something good for once in your lives. All right. Peace.
Bye, guys.
All right.